Welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thorns. My name's Hannah, and you're watching the Disney Channel. I just really wanted to say that. This is going to be another vlog, just following me around throughout my week as a aspiring author and full-time office worker and knitter. Yes, the hyperfixation from last week is still very strong. That being said, I've literally just finished one vlog and then just started this one, so we're pretty much just like 10 minutes, if that, after the end of the last vlog. So, of course, the hyperfixation will be strong. So I'm making a pair of socks. I've just finished a book which I've talked to you about, so I need to pick a new one to read for this week. I'm not putting any pressure on myself with reading, simply because I'm going to, at some point, start drafting the sequel to A Little Piece of Magic, which I'm tentatively calling From Witches and Wolves, just because I like the way that forms a sentence of a little piece of magic from witches and wolves. I just really like that idea. So it is Sunday, so Sundays for me tend to be what I call a gentle brain rot, where I just do whatever my brain wants me to do. And just fight with needles. So basically on a Sunday I will just do whatever my focus is on that day, whether it's a productive day with knitting, or if I get some cozy gaming in with the Switch or the DS, or if I just watch trashy TV because Married at First Sight is back, or even if I just sit and doom scroll all day. I found that if I have one day where I sort of give into that, my whole week tends to go better. Obviously there is still house stuff that I will do because I still live at home to help my parents out, if I remember. And yeah, we will just go from there. So in terms of next week, so this week coming, I don't think there's anything major happening. I know the deadline for A Little Piece of Magic release is coming up for when I can make changes to the manuscript, but I'm pretty happy with that. I wouldn't have uploaded it if I wasn't. I just like the idea of running a pre-order. I think all of my books will be pre-ordered just to try and get some buzz about them. But I'm rambling. I can feel myself rambling. So I'm going to stop trying to multitask because I've already just split that stitch. So I'm just going to finish this. There we go. So I'm going to come back to you if anything happens today. Okay, so I'm going to pop you down. There we go. I have managed about 355 words in the first draft. Although at this point I think it's more like a zero draft, but we'll figure out terminology as we go. And as much as I want to write From Witches and Wolves, because I mean with the first book being released next week after, it's not long, I want to be still in that world with Riley, with Hunter, to keep the energy up for myself, to be able to work on what comes next, but there is a part of me that just wants to finish the Dragon book, which I'm also working on. But I think for me, I think the priority needs to be the sequel, which is from Witches and Wolves. And like I say, I've got about 355 words in, so not a lot, but for a first draft, I always find the first, if you write or create or do something artistic, and you will know about the blank page fear and how intimidating that is. And yes, we can always change things, we can add things, we can take things out, but we need a starting point. And for me, that starting point is very intimidating. I will change it a few times before I'm actually happy with it, and I usually end up starting it on paper, so we can always have a play that way. And when it comes to a first draft or a first start, I very rarely actually start writing at the start. I normally have a middle point or a scene. There's a couple of chapters in that I will write, and then I will work out how I get my characters to that point. And it hasn't happened with this one, but to be fair, I'm doing this on a Sunday, and I already mentioned that Sundays are tend to be like brain rot or gentle rest days for me. And writing, as much as I really enjoy it, is not a gentle day for me, because I get stressed about it. So I think what I'm going to do is call it a day for the screen. And by that I mean I'm not going to focus purely on putting words to this manuscript. I have you are sitting on my story journal, my writing notebook, which if I do get inspired, I will jot ideas down there. But I'm not committing myself to put any more words to this manuscript. I have a starting point, which means I can I have a chance to percolate some ideas. I have my knitting, which is the other sock, and I have Velvet is the Night, which you are also resting on. So I'm just chilling now. So I haven't actually done anything, but my locked library delivery from HarperCollins has just arrived. So I figured, let's unbox it. It always seems a shame to unbox these when they are packaged so pretty. But this is the Halloween one. Ooh, and it is blue. So Hex and Hexability. Seaside Regency with maybe a pirate. Oh, I do like those sprayed edges though. Can you see? There's a little cat. And we just have more of that print on the back. I would never force you into anything. That bargain was no bargain. But the promise I made to you, magic or no magic, that was real. I will never touch me if you don't want me to. That sounds amazing even without. We've got a cauldron. Well, I think it's more like a cross between a cauldron and a teapot. There's nothing underneath, but that's fine. We just got some viney end pages, and I think nature might be, yeah, and they are the same on both sides. Yeah, there is a bound in diary letter, a cool title page, and there's no sign. I don't think we're supposed to get signatures, but it's fun checking. That's what this about. Do you want to see what witches can do? Lady Tiffany Worthington has always had a special talent for making the world around her come to life, whether she wanted to or not. But it's only with the arrival of her mysterious great-aunt Esme on the eve of the Battle of Waterloo that she learned she's a witch, and that the magic she's long feared is actually a gift to be embraced. Now, as she's exposed to a side of London she never knew existed, one with sea creatures, magical portraits, time travel, and a handsome duke with a dashing scar that makes him look like a pirate, Lady Tiffany discovers that despite what the ton might decree, there is no limit to what she can do or who she can be. Well, that sounded very rhymey at the end, but I think that's just the way I was reading it. And it's short, it's 369 pages. I'm intrigued. I mean, oh, and there's a ribbon bookmark. Is there ribbon bookmarks in all of the locked library ones, or is it just special ones? Either way, we have a bookmark. But yes, I will do something and come back to you. I might actually read Velvet Was the Night, and just something a little bit chill and relaxing, I think, for a Sunday afternoon. So please ignore this. It's Monday night. I have showered. It's about 7 o'clock, so I'm getting some writing in because I have started. I think I actually started this yesterday, but I wasn't feeling the start that I had, so I got out my paper journal and did a bit of that instead. So that's what I'm working on now in my comfy cozies. Okay, so it's now Thursday. Tuesday I didn't vlog because I was at rehearsal, and with there being other people there, and we have minors, we have children who perform on stage with us, so it wouldn't be appropriate. And then last night I just had a really sore tummy that I just wanted to chill and just chill and relax and not think, basically. I also gave myself a bit of an early night as well. I'm trying. I have a bit of an unboxing. This is something I did pay for myself, and I absolutely adore this shop. And where are my scissors? I tidied up the other day, so obviously I've put things at places and can't remember where I put them. But this is just a little shop I saw on Etsy. I've gotten a few stickers from her before. If you've seen my laptop, the stickers I've got from this company, which is Sophia Lou, are the dragon in teacups. I just think there's a gift, and I do have some of her coffee dragons in my planners, or journals, whatever you want to call them. Ha! Got into the box. Almost. One more. So yes, once I get into the box and have a look at these stickers, I think I can remember what I ordered. Stickers and washi for next year. So, oh, isn't that? Oh, that is so pretty. It's just in a little. I'll keep that. It'll come in handy. I don't know what it'll come in handy, but it's pretty tissue paper. It'll come in handy for something. So we got a little freebie. My cam. This is like a little cactus series. Those characters, I do like them, but not as much as I like the dragons. We have a teacup dragons washi tape. I'm not going to get out because it'll be a pain, but he's pink and there's little dragons in teacups. How cute! Galaxy dragons washi tape. Now I've had this one before, and obviously, if you know anything about me, it's like I adore the colour purple. So of course I had to get the purple one and threw it all away. And then we have a matcha dragons washi tape. This one is because I actually do really like matcha. But can you see the detail? Tell you what, I'll zoom out. Yeah, and then the teacup one is arguably the most busy, just because it has the most going on. It's pretty. Then we get on to the stickers. I can't remember which ones I ordered off the top of my head, but we got a matcha dragon, and I can't remember what she is, but she's gorgeous. And then I have a little thank you card, which has just pictures of bees. I do have my planners for next year on order. I went with Sterling Ink again. You're currently sitting on this year's planner. and journal. So I can't show you that, but that is today's happy meal. I'm so pleased with that. Oh, and I've just realised, because obviously I didn't look at this properly, the cat is on the books. And I'll close this so I don't accidentally flash my address again and pop it there. I'm also trying to get rid of some wax from some burners that I'm using, but they seem to be taking a while to heat up. I'm trying the cotton bud trick. It probably won't work, but it's worth a shot. So I did want to do some cozy gaming tonight on the Switch, but now that I'm up here, I think I might try and get some words in before I do anything sort of on those lines. So I'll come back to you when something exciting happens.
So, Saturday. I have a few things I want to do in the house. I need to do dishes. Ugh. And I want to see how far I can get with... What is it? Sock number 2. Admittedly, I haven't got very far. I've just done the ribbing. And then I can show you on the other one, which is here. I just got to about this point, like just where the cable and the bubbles start. Bubbles? Pom pom? Bubble. Sorry, that just sounds really weird when you say it out loud. Bubble. But then again, I call my hairband bubbles. Hair bubbles. Anyway, that is a project. I did find my attempt of another giant dragon. This is hopefully going to be the dragon that I'm writing. Oh, try again, Hannah. This, I don't want to give spoilers, but I might have to. My other story that I'm working on, which is on the back burner now, is the Dragon Book, and in that we follow Aurora Rose, who's a human raised by elves, who has been tasked with freeing the dragons and griffins of her world from this thing called conscription. Let me just adjust my top because it's riding up. So she's been tasked to free those, but to do that, she needs to venture back into the human world, the human side of things, learn how to be an actual human, not a sort of half-elf, and free them. But in doing so, she does actually bond with both a griffin and a dragon. But I will work on a better synopsis. But the dragon is great, and she is called... I can't remember off the top of my head. And they are called Raghala. And this was supposed to be Raghala. So I do need to finish this little... This is going to be massive. If this is just the head, this is going to be one big dragon. But we shall work on that at some point. I also have a half-finished cardigan. Tell me you may be ADHD without telling me you may be ADHD. I have so many projects I have started and not finished, including vlogs, interestingly enough. But so I stop getting distracted, Hannah. So yes, and I do also want to try and get out to a coffee shop today to do some writing. I'm feeling stuck with From Witches and Wolves, which is the sequel to A Little Piece of Magic, if I haven't already mentioned. But I'm feeling a bit stuck with that, and I think it's just because it's at the beginning, and even though I have an outline, unlike with the Dragon Book and even A Little Piece of Magic, I don't actually have a clear vision for this book. I know how I get Now, I know what happens at the end, and my big plot points, as it were, but I've got no idea how to get there. And since my last little coffee date with myself was really successful. I'm sorry if you can see reflections in the glasses. I need my glasses to see, so you'll just have to bear with. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, since my last coffee date with myself went very well, I'm hoping I can replicate that. I will be in a different coffee shop, but the same chain. So I'm hoping it'll still work its magic. There is also another tea shop I want. There is also a tea shop I want to try, because they're doing a free tea for club members, and I am a club member. But yes, so dishes first, then we will venture out, I think. Yes, that's the plan.